Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. It begins in the near future when most criminals have obtained cybernetic implants to have an edge over the police. An undercover cop, Alex Rain, visits the hotel room of an overly aggressive woman who searches him for weapons, as this stranger could be anybody. He's unarmed, so uses the criminal's own gun to point blank her in the face, which has been enhanced to handle these kind of headshots. It doesn't handle the second as well, so Alex takes the woman's stash of weapons before being chased through the worst looking neighborhood in town. He uses his new arsenal to pick off his pursuers, whose fashionable leader Rosaria takes her time to catch up as she insists on walking. And by the time she finally joins in on the action, she's down to only one goon left. Her wildly inconsistent weapon fires at random magnitudes, from armor-piercing rounds to explosives that rain down like hellfire, forcing Alex to retreat. Luckily, the round that hits him in the back is only the kind that damages his leg, as we discover that Alex is exactly 13.5% machine. In one swift move, RoboCop plugs the thug, then sacrifices himself to save a random puppy with a conveniently placed explosive-proof container. Before she executes him, Rosaria claims she's actually trying to save the human race, but so did Thanos, so Alex sticks her with his metal femur. The criminal's forced to flee when backup finally wakes up, and Alex is put through 6 months of cybernetic reconstruction, but more importantly, the dog grew up. He tracks down Rosaria to a small bar in Mexico, but she doesn't recognize Alex, as I guess she's had a few too many. When she eventually realizes, he blows her and some bartender away when his handlers from the LAPD suddenly arrive. Alex's former lover Jared wants to recruit him, as he's the best at killing or something, but he doesn't want to do their dirty work anymore. He just wanders off into the desert while the cyborg Sam gets her hand bitten off, so she shoots the dog just so you hate her. Instead of going all John Wick, Alex just moves to Brazil and tries his hand at becoming a smuggler, but he sucks at it. One day the commissioner sends Marjean to bring Alex in for one final assignment, and he doesn't even need to outdraw his opponent because his gun's in his face. Alex is taken to his former employer Farnsworth, who wants him to find Jared, as she's gone rogue and stolen a bunch of valuable information. He doesn't take no for an answer, as they've implanted a bomb in Alex's chest and given him just 72 hours to complete the mission. Maritz flies with him to the island of Java, where the traitor intends to sell information to a terrorist organization called the Hammerheads. Arriving at the village of Shanglu, Alex gets attacked by every random pedestrian in the street, but he just walks it off. He's followed around by a local tour guide named Max Impact, yet the hotel clerk somehow thinks that Alex Rain is a fake name. Yoshiro checks him in, but works for the head of the Hammerhead gang, Angie, who goes down to the hotel with a bunch of goons. A police officer at the hotel Billy's made to appear like he's part of a gang waiting to ambush Alex, and that Julian's only his woman. She's actually an ambassador working for Jared, and has her minion Michel choke Billy to death, as I guess she's done with him. The Hammerheads break into Alex's room, and while beating him up, Angie says that a group of cyborgs are posing as the LAPD. This comes after we see all of the people Alex KO'd comically rise up at the same time and turn out to be working for Maritz. Farnsworth is among the cyborgs, so when Angie learns that Alex has a bomb inside him, he leaves to avoid any of that trouble. He basically just swaps places with Julian, whose minion attacks Alex in the shower, which makes no sense, as she just wants to talk. Alex grabs his handy shower side pistol to blow the rude android away, then asks the pretty one what she wants. Julian's just there to help and removes a hidden camera implanted in Alex's eyeball, then disarms the explosive in his chest. She reveals that Farnsworth is actually the dog killer Sam, who was redesigned to look like the commissioner after he was murdered. Jared was also killed in her escape from LA, but Julian has her memory core and asks Alex to bring it to the Hammerheads. Meanwhile, the cyborg strike team notices that the eyeball camera's out, so they storm the hotel, knowing that their identity's been blown. Julian sacrifices herself by remaining behind, while Alex escapes by shooting out the bathroom floor and dropping down multiple levels. Samsworth's Terminators enter and have an over-the-top shootout with Julian, who destroys 2 agents but gets blown away in the process. A third enters and absolutely shreds her to pieces, who you would think went a bit overboard, but the cybernetic Julian still crawls away. Maritz and Sam enter, then gouge out the rebel's eyes before giving her your standard evil villain speech about actually being the good guys. He then destroys Julian's memory core so that she can never be restored, while Alex has a conversation with Jared's through a handheld device. The ghost in the machine tells him about Sam using Farnsworth's identity and says she loves Alex, but he just says yeah right, cyborg love. Suddenly the agents arrive and another big shootout ensues, which sees 2 more destroyed while Alex slips away into the streets of Shanglu. A place so savage that even the grannies are packing and don't mind putting down a few synthetics if they come around starting trouble. Alex destroys another agent before Marjean returns for one of the wackiest fight scenes in cinema. They take a trip down a water slide, and as they're grappling, Alex lifts the cyborg's head, getting it taken off, but that isn't the end of it. He then has a shootout with the torso while sliding backwards and destroys it before running out of ammo and getting captured. Just then Max arrives to save the day, and although she wants Alex dead for killing her sister Rosaria, she's a loyal member of the Hammerheads. She helps him escape when Sam and Maritz arrive and chase the two into the jungle, where they get away by leaping over a waterfall and floating downriver. When Max begins talking too much, Alex decides he should scan the chatterbox with a handheld lie detector that he just happens to have on hand. Max uses some laser in her necklace to knock Alex unconscious and takes him to the gang's hideout to have another conversation with her boss. Angie wants to convince Alex to join their cause, which annoys Max as she was hoping to get revenge for her sister later. Before he can even agree, Sam's strike team arrives and blows the building up before shooting the entire resistance dead except for Alex and Max. The two reluctantly work together to rescue Angie, but it's too late as he's executed by Farnsworth, who finally retrieves Jared's memory core. Suddenly Alex swings through and grabs his digital girlfriend out of the cyborg's hand while Max shoots Maritz in the face with a rocket. Max is devastated over Angie's death and wants to shoot Alex in the face to relieve the stress, but he gives her the "you need me" line. Farnsworth digs herself out of the rubble, and just like Rosaria's shotgun, some of these weapons suddenly shoot explosives. He blows up an entire silo and drops it onto Alex and Max's heads while they run for their lives into the nearby village. Max is knocked unconscious by one of the blasts, so Alex slings her over his shoulder like a backpack as he runs through strangers' homes. Farnsworth pursues them like a T-800 straight through and out the other side, where Alex lands on top of Max, but she doesn't wake up. He uses a zipline to get away before Max finally regains consciousness, and the two flee into the jungles of Java. When the penultimate agent catches up, Alex drops down from the canopy and destroys him with a single kick, as his legs have clearly been upgraded. The Terminator returns, shooting every piece of nature that looks at him, until eventually some trees fall on Alex and Max, conveniently pinning them to the ground. Sam then tries to justify her position with the whole humans are a danger to themselves, so we protect them by killing them argument. She asks Alex to join them as he's now more than 50% machine after his last operation, but Alex said a good line earlier about how it takes more than blood and flesh to be human. He regains a dropped gun and empties it into Farnsworth, but this android's state-of-the-art and just continues to get up. We get another chase into the river where Sam follows and keeps missing every bullet before having our second big waterfall leap of faith. This time Alex lands some explosive round on the Farnbot that would have been much handier before, but better late than never, I suppose. It still doesn't do the job, and the mechanical endoskeleton continues to pursue the pair across the volcanic countryside. Max takes them to a secret hangar where Yoshiro's the last surviving Hammerhead and has been waiting to escort her out of there with the memory core. Alex is airlifted out in the cargo bay, but as they take off, Farnsworth leaps onto the side of the plane and rips a hole in the hull. It climbs inside, and the two begin a goofy stop-motion fight that serves to show how much of Alex is a machine when he's scalped on a shredded piece of metal. Dangling out of the airplane, Alex manages to climb back inside over top of the machine, reversing position completely. As they fly over a volcano, his arm rips out of its socket that must contain the explosive because the endoskeleton and Sam's consciousness explode together. Some time later, Alex takes Jared's consciousness to another Hammerhead compound, but Einstein plans to wipe her memory from the core, effectively killing her. A battle-damaged Alex is forced to say goodbye to his ex-lover, who says that the real Farnsworth left him a letter in LA. 6 months later, a recovered Alex returns to the city with a new set of eyes to hunt down the remaining androids working for the LAPD. He reads the letter from the real commissioner, but there's no twists or anything. It's an apology for his rough treatment and reminds him to do what's right. His new partner Max Impact jokes about getting Alex's synthetic body through the airport, while we hear Farnsworth talking off-screen about killing them both. And the movie ends.